You should definitely check out other creators and sometimes just search for new videos of a topic you're interested in. I'm telling you this because YouTube only recommends the most viewed stuff, but especially in our hobby, going out of your way to search up all these hidden gems or even just ideas of other people that are not the same person you're watching for months, it can be quite rewarding. And this is why I like to bring up others that I got my ideas from, because it makes it a lot easier to spread the word and connect things. So today I was inspired by this video from Cheesewars. It is about a goblin army led by the Cheese Monks, and that is all I want to say about the plot of this, because I really want you to watch it for yourself. I think this is a huge part of what this hobby should be about, in my opinion. Creativity driven by ourselves and our ideas, no matter how much they deviate from the original source. Because ultimately what we build is what we love, and some of us truly want to make a unique army. And you can definitely do this and write your own stuff, even without kit bashing or conversions and scratch building and the likes. And it is simply an option that you can take as far as you like to go. But I really think that you should try to come up with a narrative about your army, or at least some of their characters. It makes everything so much more fun and gives you a reason to build and paint stuff and to implement things that you want to have in that army. Simply because they make sense. Even if they don't fit in by the rules, you should not limit yourself by that, and instead make everything fit that doesn't fit. Pick a unit of the army that would roughly fit, maybe even modify it. Or just take the rules of another army and put it in. Depending on the rule system, that can be more or less complicated, but where there is a will, there is a way. Whether it is something simple as adding Sisters of Battle, or Imperial Guard, or Custodes to your Space Marine army, or something silly like turning an epic character into a new one. Meet my Smurfs. I originally wanted to paint them green like the source material, because I didn't have much ideas at the time. But then my brother was like, no, paint them blue. And so I painted them blue. And now I'm happy about it, because now I can call them an army of Smurfs. They even have a Papa Smurf, coated in red. Not all of these Smurfs are going to be blue. They are still goblins, technically, after all. But a whole bunch of them are blue-skinned. And so is their king, Scraggot. Or at least, they think this is Scraggot. But in reality, it is just a copycat who is acting like Scraggot, because he heard of his high status, and thus used his identity to gather a small cult and lots of privileges from them. Whether or not his powers are equal in universe, I don't know, but I use his model, thus his rules in Age of Sigmar, so the battle might be legendary. I had this guy laying around for so long, and I got in such a mood for painting it that I began to work on it the day after watching Cheesewars' video. It kinda helped that I already planned to paint his cloak yellow anyway. I had a lot of fun and even experimented with that on my Underworld band of Gwyn, who sadly never had rules for the real Age of Sigmar, not even in 2nd edition, which introduced him. The reason for choosing this scheme is because I know that there is a real king in Smurfs lore that wears golden, yellow, orangish clothes. So naturally, that was a step up of painting a commander in a red cloak. Though thinking about it now, a red-cloaked Scraggot would look quite cool as well. But hey, now I can't look at these Quicks anymore without thinking that they secretly munch on his cheesy cloak instead of just lifting it. And who knows, I don't even know myself how this fake Scraggot is even able to pull off his sheen, because Scraggot's lore is kind of big for such a little guy, and that can be hard to copy. maybe he's using a similar or inspired method of what is seen in Cheesewars' video. After all, he has uncovered many stories of Scraggot, and so it wouldn't be too much out of character for him to seek out all kinds of other myths and stories that are out there, especially from his own kin. You gotta watch the video in my description yourself if you want to hear about that method though. Who knows what kind of secrets your own minis and lores have if you explore and consider all these wild lores and headcanons out there. This helps to spread the word and interconnect stuff even if only you know about it. Kind of as if you stumble across hidden lore that was never released to a wider audience but is now yours to play with. When I researched about how I could make up my own order for the Adeptus Sororitas and make sense of why they are fighting close with my salamanders, I stumbled upon an entire list of homebrew orders. There are so many cool ideas for color schemes there, and there even was the Order of the Divine Flame, which simply worships a flame made by Primarch Vulcan's weaponry. And while I didn't look up every single bit of Adeptus Sororitas lore, I decided to simply make these sisters wear the same color as the salamanders, because the group of mine has helped their main locations so much that this is how they repay them, and vice versa. I planned a bunch of other stuff for my marines. But before I buy more, I might as well finish my almost 3 digits big backlog. And who knows what other ideas I get overnight on my way through this. I even have an order coming up soon, so... What I wanted to conclude this video with is that I also liked the entire package of the video, and that the guy even made drawings and such to support his story. And thus I made up my mind in how I might want to tell my own story for the skirmish rules set that I told you about earlier. I don't think it needs to be perfect. It simply needs to look interesting, and most of all, it should be done. You should do it if you have an idea. Your abilities won't improve if you don't use them. And sometimes ideas just need to get out there. So it's better to try them out first, before you burn them and yourself out by starting a super big project for days and days. That's what sketches are for after all. Add that and to do silly things. Lastly, you should not only look at the creations of others to get inspired, but you should also share your own work. You can choose to post on platforms like Blue Sky or look on Discords. The One Page Rules Discord has an entire section for model pictures. The Arcane Ugly Discord is a place full of scratch builds and kit bashes that are inspiring and encouraging to do the same. The Grimdark Compendium is a great place not to post but to get a whole new perspective on building miniatures. Even if you don't decide to devote yourself to the Grimdark style, it can't hurt you to check out other ways how to build and paint miniatures. And lastly, probably one of your favorite content creators might have his own place to share pictures of your work and battles. Because when you do that, you might become what I just described in this video for someone else. And I think that is what this hobby should be first and foremost. Creativity driving ideas for games and new creations.